Hi there, my name is Miss Haverstick, and today we're going to read First Day Jitters. This book is written by Judy Danneberg, and it's illustrated by Judy Love. Let's read it. First Day Jitters. Sarah, dear, time to get out of bed, Mr. Hartwell said, poking his head through the bedroom doorway. You don't want to miss the first day at your new school, do you? Has anyone in your family ever woken you up? I know some mornings it's really hard for me to get out of bed, so my mom would come and wake me up. It's nice that Mr. Hartwell is doing this for Sarah. I'm not going, said Sarah, and pulled the covers over her head. Of course you're going, honey, said Mr. Hartwell, as he walked over to the window and snapped up the shade. Sarah doesn't want to get out of bed. No, I'm not. I don't want to start over again. I hate my new school, Sarah said. She tunneled down to the end of her bed. Seems like Sarah's giving Mr. Hartwell a hard time. She really doesn't want to go to school. How can you hate your new school, sweetheart? Mr. Hartwell chuckled. You've never even been there before. Don't worry. You liked your other school. You'll like this one. Besides, just think of all the new friends you'll meet. That's it. I don't know anybody, and it'll be hard, and I just hate it, that's all. This is what Mr. Hartwell thinks it will be like, and this is what Sarah's thinking. Very different pictures, huh? Do you ever think that school might feel like this instead of this? That's what's going on in Sarah's head. She's a little bit worried about going to this new school. What will everyone think if you aren't there? We told them you were coming. This is Mr. Hartwell's imagination of what would happen if Sarah didn't go to school today. The police might be doing an investigation. Students might make missing posters sign. They're all so worried that Sarah didn't show up. It seems like it's really important for her to get to school today. Let's see what's going to happen. Well, Sarah said, they will think that I am lucky, and they will wish that they were at home in bed, just like me. Mr. Hartwell sighed. Sarah Jane Hartwell, I'm not playing this silly game 1 second longer. I'll see you downstairs in 5 minutes. Mr. Hartwell's had enough. Sarah tumbled out of bed. She stumbled into the bathroom, and she fumbled into her clothes. My head hurts, she moaned as she trudged into the kitchen. Mr. Hartwell handed Sarah a piece of toast and her lunchbox. They walked to the car. Sarah's hands were cold and clammy. Does that ever happen to you when you're nervous? Do you notice that your hands get a little sweaty and maybe they feel really cold? Sometimes when I'm a little scared, that's what happens to me. And that's what's happening to Sarah right now. They drove down the street. She couldn't breathe. And then they were there. Oh, I feel sick, said Sarah weakly. Nonsense, said Mr. Hartwell. You'll love your new school once you get started. Oh, look, there's your principal, Mrs. Burton. Sarah slumped in her seat. Oh, Sarah, Mrs. Burton gushed, peeking into the car. There you are. Come on, I'll show you where to go. She led Sarah into the building and walked quickly through the crowded hallways. "Don't worry, everyone is nervous the first day," she said over her shoulder as Sarah rushed to keep up. It seems like the principal notices that Sarah is a little bit nervous. Do you think any of these other students are feeling nervous for their first day of school? What about you? Are you feeling nervous for your first day? Like Mrs. Burton said, that's normal. Everyone feels a little nervous on the first day. When they got to the classroom, most of the children were already in their seats. Looks like they're all getting ready for the day. The class looked up as Mrs. Burton cleared her throat. Class, attention please, said Mrs. Burton. When the class was quiet, she led Sarah to the front of the room and said, "Class, I would like you to meet your new teacher, Mrs. Sarah Jane Hartwell." There she is. Sarah finally made it to school. Were you expecting Sarah to be the teacher? When I first read this book, I thought that Sarah was a student. But the truth is, teachers feel really nervous for the first day of school too, not just the students. Just like Sarah, sometimes we worry about what the students will be like, what all this new stuff is going to feel like, and it can be a little bit scary. But like Mr. Hartwell said, once we get settled in, we know that we will love it. Can you relate to any of the feelings that Sarah felt? Maybe you're feeling a little bit scared now that we're doing school online. I know that we feel a little bit nervous doing this new thing, so it's normal if you do too. But I think that once we get settled in and we meet each other, we will see, just like Sarah, we are going to love this new school. What do you think? How do you feel after reading First Day Jitters? Are you nervous? Are you a little excited? Does it make you feel better knowing that teachers get a little bit nervous too? It's a really normal thing to feel nervous for the first day of school. But think about how excited you are once you try something new and find out that you love it. We hope that school is just like that for you this year. You might feel a little bit nervous right now, but once we get into the groove of things, I think we are all going to love it.